My name is Sam, and today I'm going to talk about multimeter. A multimeter or multitester, also known as a VOM, volt ohm millimeter, is an electronic measuring instrument that combines several measurement functions in one unit. A typical multimeter can measure voltage, current, and resistor. The diagram you see right now is the analog multimeters, which use a micrometer with a moving pointer to display reading. And the second diagram you see here is a digital multimeter and have a numeric display and may also show a graphical bar representing the major value. And digital multimeters are now far more common due to their cost and precision. But analog multimeters are still perfectly to use in some cases. For example, when monitoring a rapidly varying value. And the history of the first test meter or multimeter can trace its origin back to the invention of galvanometer around 1820. Initially, all test meters were analog as digital technology was still many years into the future. And here's a diagram of a galvanometer. Galvanometers were large instruments compared to the multimeter that we have now. And galvanometer that gave a deflection when current passed through its coil. Typically to measure voltage and resistor, a Wheatstone bridge configuration was used, where the bridge balanced when resistor or voltage match. The Wheatstone bridge was not suited to many applications, as it was large and slow to use. As a result, specific volt test meter or current test meter started to appear. The development of what we know today as a multimeter is contributed to a British post office engineer named Donald McKay. Rather than having to carry a number of separate instruments with him to serve and find telecommunication circuits, he wanted a single instrument. Accordingly, he developed a test meter that could measure current, voltage, and resistance, as they measure amps, volts, and ohms, so he called it AVO meter. This AVO test meter consists of a single moving coil meter with a set of switches and precision resistors that able to provide a variety of measurements and ranges. And the AVO meter was manufactured for many years, with successive versions introducing better accuracy and more compatibility. However, the basic format remained the same until the digital type took over. And let's go back to the first multimeter, analog multimeter. And how does an analog multimeter work is that the meter movement in a moving pointer is practically always a moving coil galvanometer type, which using dual pivots to support the moving coil. In a basic analog multimeter, the current to deflect the coil and the pointer is drawn from the circuit being measured. It is usually an advantage to minimize the circuit draw from the current draw from the circuit, which impels dedicated mechanics. The sensitivity of an analog multimeter is given in units of ohms per volt, and to avoid the loading of measured current by the measured circuit by the current draw from the meter movement, some analog multimeter use an amplifier inserted between the major circuit and the meter movement. While this increases the expense and complexity of the meter, by using of vacuum tubes or field effect transistor, the input and resistance can be made very high and independent of the current required to operate the meter movement coil. And such amplified multimeters are called VTVMS, which is vacuum tube multimeters. And let's talk about the second multimeter, the digital multimeter. In a digital multimeter, the signal under the test is converted to a voltage and an amplifier with electronically controlled gain per condition the signal. A digital multimeter displays the quantity measured as a number, which eliminates parallax error. A modern digital multimeter may have an embedded computer, which provides a wealth of convenience features, such as auto-ranging, auto-plurality, a bar graph. Modern meter may be interfaced with a personal computer by IRGA links, IS-232 connections, or a USB, or maybe an instrument bus such as IEE for AA. The interface allows the computer to record the measurements as they are made. And some digital multimeter can store measurements and upload them to a computer. So as you can see, a digital multimeter are more commonly used compared to analog multimeter, which is why the digital multimeter are now more commonly used than the analog multimeter. But analog multimeter have more complexity that you can use to measure the variety of currents or voltage. And here's how both multimeter works.